According to unfolding developments surrounding Jerusalem and its most sacred locations, many observers believe that the convergence of political conflict, unusual natural phenomena, and deeply symbolic religious events has drawn global attention back to one of the most spiritually significant cities in human history. A possible resolution to a long-standing tax dispute could soon reopen access to one of Christianity's holiest sites. Yet the broader context surrounding this development has created an atmosphere of uncertainty and heightened expectation. Reports describe unusual weather patterns forming over Jerusalem, with heavy skies, unexpected storms, and dark formations appearing above sacred landmarks. These occurrences, combined with ongoing tensions in the Middle East, have led many to reflect on biblical passages that speak of signs in the heavens and unusual disturbances preceding major prophetic events. Observers noted whirlwinds sweeping across areas near the Western Wall, the Dome of the Rock, and the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, locations revered by billions of believers worldwide. These ancient streets, traditionally filled with pilgrims, especially during Palm Sunday celebrations, were instead described as quiet and restricted due to security concerns, amplifying the sense that something extraordinary might be unfolding. Jerusalem has long held a unique position in global religious consciousness, serving as a focal point for Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. The concentration of sacred sites within the Old City amplifies the symbolic meaning of any unusual occurrence. Witnesses reported tents and makeshift stalls being torn apart by sudden gusts of wind, with debris scattering across narrow stone pathways. Some described violent surges of wind striking near the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, traditionally believed to house both Golgotha, the site of Jesus Christ's crucifixion, and the tomb where Christians believe he was buried and resurrected. These places are not merely historical landmarks, but foundations of faith for millions. As additional storms reportedly approached, questions emerged about whether such natural forces could damage sites of immense spiritual importance. For many believers, these developments appeared to align with long-discussed prophetic interpretations regarding Jerusalem's role in future events. Adding to the sense of urgency were reports that certain Holy Week traditions, including solemn Lenten observances, might be restricted due to ongoing instability. For the first time in memory, there were discussions about limiting access to areas surrounding the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, raising concerns among pilgrims who traditionally gather each year for sacred ceremonies. Jerusalem, often described in Scripture as central to humanity's spiritual destiny, has historically been associated with prophetic imagery, including passages in Isaiah and other prophetic books describing judgment, restoration, and divine intervention. When unusual natural phenomena coincide with restricted access to sacred spaces, many believers interpret such events as possible indicators of unfolding prophecy, though interpretations vary widely among scholars and faith communities. Witness accounts also described dramatic atmospheric changes, including a red-tinted sky, rapidly forming clouds, and sudden hailstorms striking ancient stone structures without warning. Elder residents reportedly compared these sudden storms to rare past events, including similar weather patterns seen during notable political developments in previous years. After the hail subsided, observers noted an unusual stillness, followed by reports of dark birds circling above the Western Wall. The imagery of circling birds over sacred ground resonated with scriptural passages referencing signs and creation, prompting further speculation among those who view current events through a prophetic lens. Within the Church of the Holy Sepulchre itself, some individuals reported witnessing unusual occurrences, including claims that a crucifix icon appeared to glow and that the eyes of the depicted Christ seemed to open. Such claims, shared widely on social media, sparked debate among believers and skeptics alike. While some considered the event miraculous, others suggested natural explanations, such as lighting effects or visual illusions. Regardless of interpretation, the incident reignited discussions about miracles in the Holy Land and the enduring belief that divine signs may still appear in places of profound religious significance. Additional accounts described a separate event on the Mount of Olives, where pilgrims reportedly observed a glowing figure surrounded by light. Witnesses interpreted the vision as resembling traditional depictions of Jesus accompanied by angels. The sighting, shared widely online, prompted theological discussions, with some viewing it as symbolic, while others called for careful investigation. Throughout history, Jerusalem has frequently been associated with visions, signs, and prophetic interpretations, reflecting its deep spiritual symbolism across faith traditions. The broader context of Jerusalem's religious importance further intensifies these interpretations. Judaism regards the Western Wall and Temple Mount as sacred remnants of ancient worship. Christianity reveres the city as the site of Christ's crucifixion and resurrection, and Islam honors the Dome of the Rock and Al-Aqsa Mosque as central to Islamic tradition. This convergence of sacred geography has historically contributed to both devotion and conflict, making any unusual occurrence in Jerusalem resonate far beyond its walls. Archaeological debates, historical uncertainties, and centuries of rebuilding have added complexity to understanding Jerusalem's past. Yet the city continues to serve as a powerful symbol of faith and prophecy. One of the most significant annual events associated with the Church of the Holy Sepulchre is the Holy Fire Ceremony, traditionally held on Holy Saturday. Believers gather as a priest enters the tomb, believed to be Jesus' burial site, where a flame is said to appear miraculously and spread among worshippers. Reports that access to this ceremony might be restricted raised questions among pilgrims about what might occur if the tradition were interrupted. Some interpreted the possibility as another sign of unusual times, while others viewed it simply as a precautionary measure during ongoing conflict. Further developments intensified speculation, including reports of missile fragments landing near Jerusalem's Old City and damaging portions of pathways near sacred sites. Some observers connected these incidents to biblical passages describing Jerusalem surrounded by conflict. Historical references to the sealed Eastern Gate, closed during the Ottoman period, also resurfaced in discussions about prophecy. While interpretations differ widely, these events contributed to the perception among some believers that current developments may align with long-anticipated prophetic themes. Amid these dramatic interpretations, many faith leaders emphasize the importance of maintaining perspective, encouraging believers to focus on hope, gratitude, and spiritual reflection rather than fear. Scriptural passages from Philippians, Thessalonians, and Romans are often cited to remind believers to remain thankful and trust in divine guidance regardless of circumstances. Gratitude, according to these teachings, becomes a spiritual practice that transforms perspective, offering peace even during uncertainty. Ultimately, Jerusalem continues to stand as a powerful symbol of faith, prophecy, and global attention. Whether interpreted as natural events, political developments, or spiritual signs, the occurrences surrounding the city have once again drawn worldwide focus. For many believers, these events serve as reminders of the enduring significance of Jerusalem and the hope that, regardless of uncertainty, faith, gratitude, and trust remain central to navigating extraordinary times.